In this week's video fishing forecast for New England, we have ice fishing action from all across New England with some really big bass as well as some slab crappie being caught. A nice warm weather report to thaw us all out from a subscriber spending some time down in Florida this winter. Word on a silent auction to benefit the Healing the Wounds organization and much, much more. Check it out.
The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
Hey there, Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine with this week's web video fishing forecast. Of course, as always, before I get into the video, got to remind you to like this video, comment down below if you've got anything to say about what I discuss, as well as subscribe to the Fisherman magazine's YouTube channel and be sure to tap on the bell to be notified immediately when we post new content. All right. Gonna jump right into the reports. It's a bit chilly out here, so I'm gonna try to hammer this out as quickly as possible, but figure I'd get outside nonetheless, hitting a little beach here on the Connecticut shoreline for the day. My son's playing over on the beach as well, looking for some cool beach finds. We'll see what he gets, but nonetheless, here we go. What you came here for, those fishing reports weekly. This week, locally, it's primarily about ice fishing. Between this weather that we've had, there's not a whole lot of open water going on. Cod boats have not sailed yet again, so we're going to start things off up in Massachusetts, where my buddy James and Clay fished a small ice derby at Chadwick Pond in Haverhill. Unfortunately, they managed a skunk for the day, but other anglers did catch, and they were joined by their friend Mike, as well as his sons Caleb and Jeremiah. Unfortunately, Caleb had to head out early, but 30 minutes before the derby ended, Jeremiah had a flag go off, and it turned out to be his biggest fish of his life, a solid 3.25-pound largemouth, which ultimately took home first place in the junior division. Congratulations, that's an awesome bass. Great catch there. All right, moving on down into Rhode Island. Heard from my buddy surfcaster extraordinaire Gil Bell. He is a local celebrity in the South County surf, but he does a bit of ice fishing as well. He sent me a nice shot of a 14-inch crappie that he jigged up from an undisclosed pond in South County late last week. That is a solid slab, no doubt. I want to give you a heads up too. In Rhode Island, licensing's a little different. Freshwater licenses become due every year on March 1st, not January 1st like a lot of the other places. So March 1st, freshwater licenses are due, and until that time, your previous year's license remains valid. All right, moving on down into Connecticut. My buddy John Hanasek hit the ice a couple times this week. Tried to get me to go with him. Unfortunately, I had other plans. Wasn't able to join him, which, as always, seems to be the case when I can't join Jay. He does quite well, and this was no exception. He fished evening into darkness, jigging one of the local coves off the Connecticut River, and tried a little something once it started to get dark. Set up an underwater light, and he had his holes drilled out around the perimeter of it, and it produced really well. Got into a mess of nice crappie as well as some yellow perch. Had a nice flurry of action just after dark on some of those crappie, and had an awesome fish fry. Unfortunately, since he went out, we got hammered with some rain. I know here along the coast we had, probably an inch or two. My yard was flooded yesterday, so a lot of the local spots might have gotten a bit washed out, but now today we got some freezing cold weather, so hopefully by the weekend things will return to what we had, and Jay and maybe even I can get out there on the ice. Also in Connecticut, this week's Black Hawk report came through, and unfortunately they weren't able to sail for cod this week, which I'll get to in just a moment. But nonetheless, it included a pretty good report and an awesome photo as Greg's grandson, RJ, caught an impressive yellow perch over the weekend as Greg had taken him out for his first ice fishing trip, showing him the ropes, showing him how to do it, and of course Greg's a magnet to any kind of fish, and it looks like the grandsons are as well. So really cool catch there. But as I said, Black Hawk is not sailing right now for cod. I think it was last week I let you know that they were contracted by a dive company to do some work, or who is doing some work, at Millstone Power Plant. You can get some information on that at the Black Hawk's Facebook page. They got a video from the boat showing you some of the equipment, some of what they're doing, which was really cool. I watched that last week. And of course, every week they've been doing some really informative and helpful seminars for free to the public at their Facebook page. Last week, they met up with Greg's buddy who owns a fish market, showed proper fish handling and cleaning techniques. They've done tackle, they've done gear, fishing stuff, all some really, really good, helpful seminars. So that's Blackhawk Sport Fishing Facebook page. Hit them up, see what they've got going on this week. All right, and like I said, it's pretty chilly out here today. So for those of you who want to or can get away from the cold right now, it's a great time to head down to Florida for a little weekend, week, or even a month-long getaway. And that's just what Fisherman subscriber Alan Sheriff recently did. I'm sure you've seen Alan's photos before. Always heading down to Florida in the winter, then he's back up here in the summer. Got some great catches up in Massachusetts waters. But right now, he's fishing out of Sarasota, Florida with his buddies on Suncoast Charters. They've been getting out a couple of times, hitting a variety of species, primarily just inshore right now. I know last I spoke with him, he was going to try to get offshore, but inshore, they've been hammering all different stuff. Redfish, snook, sea trout, a little bit of everything that they've got down there. Now, if you want to try your hand at fishing down in Florida, take a trip. In February, we had a great article, Florida Keys travel log. It's available right now at thefisherman.com. You can hit up the link in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. And then next week, the March issue of the Fisherman magazine is out, and we got an awesome article from my buddy Captain Bill Brown, who is now down in Florida, and he talks about all of the excellent tarpon fishing that goes on in the spring. So this is the best time of the year to target tarpon, both size as well as numbers down in Florida, and he gives it all to you. So be sure to give a look next week to the March issue, which is due out on website on Tuesday morning, and of course to follow in your mailbox as well as newsstands by next Thursday. And then last up, but certainly not least this week, I got word to pass along to you of a silent auction taking place throughout the month of March. It's being hosted by the folks at Healing the Wounds, which is a charitable organization mission to help and mentor teenage children of our nation's fallen heroes. On the auction block, they have an absolutely amazing boat. It's a brand new 2021 Pacific Skiff model 2325 hardtop. It's fully powered, comes on a trailer, got the whole deal. These boats are amazing. I haven't had the good fortune yet to fish off of one, but I have seen them. I've fished around them. It's a sick boat. So head on over to thefisherman.com right now. Again, we got the link in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. We got all the details on this auction, how to sign up, how to enter your bids, and everything else right there. All right. Well, again, it's a cold week, so I'm going to end things up now. Of course, if you plan to head out and fish this weekend, be sure to start off your trip by visiting thefisherman.com.
Steigercraft boats, built by people who fish our waters. Serious anglers choose Steigercraft for their 40 years of boat building experience right here in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. Visit steigercraft.com for a dealer near you.